Hello everyone, it is me, Dr. Laserbeam, and this is League of Legends 101, where I go over certain parts of the game, League of Legends. Today we'll be going over how to play Alistar, the Minotaur, or as I like to call him, the Silly Cowman. Alistar is a tank support who excels at protecting the carries of his team with his amazing peel and CC. He is a great bodyguard and works best when put next to the carries of his team. Pros to Alistar are, he has good CC, amazing peel, good sustain, tankiest champion in the game, nice engages, and good pick potential. Cons to Alistar are, he is slow, easy to poke, hard to learn, easily to goof up, long cooldowns, and depends on teammates heavily. Alistar works well with slippery ADCs that can, addition to Alistar's own peel, also kite, making it near impossible to touch the ADC. Such ADCs are Vayne, Ezreal, Draven, and Caitlyn. Alistar is strong against ADCs who have shorter range compared to other ADCs or lack a good escape, such as Jinx, Varus, Graves, and Urgot. Alistar is strong against supports who go hard in the paint, such as Blitzcrank, Thresh, Leona, or Braum. Alistar is weak against ADCs that can kite him easily or have good range, such as Vayne, Caitlyn, Tristana, and Sivir. Alistar is also weak against supports who have good range or can counter his engages, such as Janna, Lulu, Morgana, and Soraka. For Alistar's runes, I suggest getting heavy armor or magic resist runes, depending on your enemy team's overall damage source. For Alistar's masteries, I suggest putting most into utility and the rest into defense unless you plan to be an aggressive cow. The first thing you should get as Alistar is a relic shield, health pots, and a warding totem. The only must-have item for Alistar would be the ruby sightstone. If you plan on being aggressive, items to consider would be Righteous Glory, Ohm Wrecker, Banner of Command, Sunfire Cape, and Boots of Mobility. If you plan on being defensive, items to consider would be Randuin's Omen, Lock of the Iron Salami, Thorn Mail, Frozen Heart, Mikhail's Crucible, and Mercury's Treads. Your build should be focused on utility, defense, and mana. Now onto Alistar's abilities. First we have his passive, which is Trample. After using any other ability, Alistar does a very angry dance, causing nearby enemies and structures to take magic damage. He also gains the ability to walk through units. This effect lasts for 3 seconds. This ability as a support isn't very amazing with the exception of pushing waves and taking down objectives faster. One should be wary not to accidentally steal your fellow's ADC's farm when using this ability. Next we have Alistar's Q, which is Pulverize. Alistar slams the ground, knocking all nearby enemies up for 1 second and stunning them for half a second when they land. This ability works amazing against those assassins such as Zed or LeBlanc who get up close and personal to their targets. This ability allows your team to disengage from a fight or allows you to pick off enemies from the enemy team. This also works amazing with Alistar's Q, which I shall explain later. Next we have Alistar's W, which is Headbutt. Alistar charges towards a single enemy, knocking them back to your target's destination and stunning them for a second. By itself, this ability is used to take other champions from your ADC or your mid laner away from them. You can also use it to knock an enemy into your team if you find yourself in front of the target while your team is further back. In lane, this is used to again knock back any enemy that might be trying to get up in your ADC's business. In aggressive uses, however, if an enemy gets too close to your tower or if a jungler is coming down there, there's a good way to use your W. You simply flash, Q them, and then get behind your target while they're in the air, and then W them towards your turret or jungler. This should get you a free kill. However, be careful if you hit an enemy, for they could go over some walls. Now onto Alistar's E, which is Triumphant Roar. Alistar roars, "You can't milk those!" which heals himself and nearby allies for half of what he got healed for. The cooldown is also reduced by 2 seconds for any unit that dies near Alistar. While its heal isn't great, it does help keep you, your teammates, and your waves alive. Not to mention the low mana needed for this ability can allow you to spam this. However, do not rely on this ability too much, for the heal scales piss poor into the late and mid game. Last we have Alistar's ult, which is Unbreakable Will. Alistar buffs himself insanely, removing all crowd control effects from him, as well as gaining increased attack damage, as well as taking 70% reduced damage AD and AP alike for the next 7 seconds. This ult is what makes him the tankiest champion in the game. When this ult is activated, Alistar is nearly unkillable. This is great during teamfights and should be used ASAP in teamfights. Anywhere else, using this ult would probably be useless unless you need to solo tank an objective. Now for the laning phases of Alistar. Early game is pretty basic. Alistar isn't a very aggressive support, so you should just be babysitting your lane and denying creep by using your W on the enemy ADC when the canyon minion is low, till you see an opening for plays. These openings are whenever the support or ADC gets close to tower, are split, or the enemy wave is pushed up. You should be near the enemy once you flash, so Q, get behind the enemy and hit them towards your ADC, jungler, or turret to make them MLG plays and make your whole team love you. Mid game you should be picking off enemies if you find them alone. If grouping in general, it's actually better to play defensive due to your amazing peel in teamfights, but if you see an opening, only go for it if you think your team is ready. However, most of the time, you should be glued to your ADC or mid laner, protecting them at all costs. Late game is the same as mid game, but with the addition that you should be tanky enough by now to be taking objectives for your team if you need to push or get that extra Baron or Dragon. For spells, I suggest Flash plus Exhaust or Flash plus Ignite. This has been League of Legends 101. Let me know if you found this video to be helpful, and for all you Alistar players out there, let's make sure nobody milks those.